Hi my gorgeous Capricorns, how are you? This is your reading from the 29th of January to the 4th of February. Guys, I am in so much pain, okay? I obviously slept badly last night and my shoulder is just like, I can barely move it. So I'm hoping it's not going to affect your reading too much, but it's really hard to shuffle. So, and I'm not entirely with it because it really does hurt. What was I going to say? Yes, so thank you so much for all your views. Over 1,000 views on the last video. I am so touched. I genuinely am, and I do appreciate your time so much. Thank you. It really comes from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Right, so let's see what we've got for you. We're using the Gilded Tarot by Shira Marchetti, and we're using the Fairy Tarot cards by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. I've just noticed there's a couple of cards on the floor. I am going to get them, sorry, bear with me, because they may be important. Okay. Right. So I'm going to do 6 cards from each deck, and we'll see what else comes out. If you've watched me before, you know that sometimes, well, quite often, cards just kind of like fall out, not fall out of the deck, but they're important. So you have the King of Swords. I think they're being gentle with me. The Nine of Cups. The Two of Swords and the Eight of Cups. The Four of Cups. You've got a lot of cups today. What's that one? The Empress. The Queen of Pentacles may be important as well. And the Tower. Capricorn, what's going on? What is going on? Okay, and you have the Nine of Pentacles, which is basically you're independent, financially abundant, usually lady, but not necessarily. Got her own hobbies, got her own things going on. Ouch. So I don't know where she comes into it. That could be you. It could be you. It's Pentacles cards, so it could well be you. So Pentacles, Capricorn, Virgo and Taurus. Okay, so you may be dealing with, so the cards you have: King of Swords, Nine of Cups, Two of Swords and the Eight of Cups together, the Four of Cups, the Empress and the Tower. Right. I might have to move in a minute because leaning over is not helping. And you've got quite a few fours as well, which is all about foundations. And the Seven of Spring. Okay, so you have the Ace of Spring though, which is the Ace of Wands. And it says, time to take action, be fearless and happily pursue your most treasured dreams, amazing career opportunities. And then in the middle of the week you have the Two of Spring as well. So let's see where that comes in. So you may have this opportunity for something that you're passionate about. And it's time to take action on it. And it could be something to do with this Nine of Pentacles lady. It could be that you want your independence. It could be that you want to be financially abundant and financially independent. And you're taking steps towards that. For some of you, it could be that you have this passionate new start coming up with a Nine of Pentacles person. Or perhaps some of you are just passionate about being single and being independent and doing your own thing. So you have the King of Swords. So you could be dealing with an air sign, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. Okay. And that could be what's happening. Or it could be you. It could be you. The King of Swords is logical and he's analytical and he's he can be quite sharp with his words. He can be very blunt as well if this is a person. He can also be very focused. He doesn't tend to kind of like run off like a lot of the others. He's all about kind of like the logic of it. And he just doesn't put up with any crap. Basically, he is the king. He is the King of Swords. He will cut you out if he needs to. excuse me, and he's the king of doing it. Maybe you're taking some time out in your own head to kind of try and work out how to get yourself to this king space. But I think for the majority of you, you're already there. You're sitting in your power. And this would tie in, the sitting in your power would tie in quite well with the Nine of Pentacles, you know, if you're already in your power. And we have the World, and we have the Ten of Spring in this deck. And they mean something slightly different in this deck. I'll read them to you. The Ten of Spring, ask for help from others, all work and no playing, weighed down by too many responsibilities. This is the Ten of Wands, but I'm not going to call it the Ten of Wands because these cards are very different, okay? So I'm going to treat them as two entirely separate things. And then we have the World, brilliant success, freedom to go in any direction, journey that is now complete. For some of you, you're working really, really hard, okay? And you could be reaching the end of a stage of something. It could be that you have been working too hard and you have been weighed down, but you're doing well. And that would make sense with the King of Swords because he's all about the intellect, he's all about the logic, he's all about actually getting things moving. And I think for a lot of you, you have been being weighed down, but you're at the point now where actually you've reached that level. And now it's time to kind of like, not step back a little bit, but just drop some of these, drop some of these springs, drop some of these wands and responsibilities and things. And maybe not push it quite so hard because you've got to the point where you're ready to move into a new stage of things, okay? And this is where we have this Ace of Spring. And it's time to take action, happily pursue your dreams and things, but it's still the Ace of Wands, it's still the opportunity for something that you're going to be passionate about, okay? And luckily for you, have the Celebration card. We have a Wishes Come True card, okay? We've got Follow Your Dreams and we've got the Wishes Come True card. Dreams filled, wishes come true. This could possibly be the thing that would be your dream. And we also have the Eight of Summer, which says a desire for a more meaningful life, realizing that it's time to move on, choosing to make major life changes. This could be a relationship, it could be a job. I'm kind of getting a job vibe from it, to be honest with you. I'm getting a job feeling from it, and it's like maybe you've kind of like got to where you want to go, and now, you know, in your career, and now you want to go and do something else. And you have the opportunity to do that if that's what you choose to do, because you have the Magician. And it says you can do anything, take charge of your life, you can manifest what you need to be a success. So I think you've been successful up to this point. You've got to the point where you are the King of Swords, and now it's time for you to move forward and decide what you want to do next. This isn't going to resonate with everyone, it isn't, but that's kind of the feeling that I'm getting for it. And what's quite interesting actually is that for some of you perhaps you can't decide, because you have the Two of Swords, okay, which is an indecision card generally. Sorry, I've just dropped the other one. And I wonder whether some of you kind of can't decide whether to move on or not. So it's a case of the decision that you've got is perhaps to move on from what you're currently doing, or carry on doing the same thing. The bright future manifested through hard work and creativity, partnering with others who share your dreams, great progress being made. Maybe you really like where you're working and you like the people that you're working with, but this new opportunity has come up and you're thinking, wow, Okay, it's not the same thing. Perhaps if you're working, perhaps if you're working in HR or something like that, okay, and you like your job, you enjoy your job, you're doing well in your job, you're quite successful, but what you actually want to do is go and be a teacher, for example, okay, and it's like, I'm really good in HR, I really like HR, I like the people that I work with, I love the people that I work with, but actually I'm being given this opportunity to go and do something else, like lecturing, for example, not so much teaching, and it's like, I can go and work in business school. I've met someone who is a really good contact there. They think I'd be really good at doing it. I don't know whether to do it or not. I've always wanted to teach. I'm good at what I do. I know I could do this. But am I willing to take the chance? And that's the kind of sense that I'm getting for you. It's that kind of sense of like, I'm good at what I do already, but there is this opportunity to do something else that I would really, really like to do. And I've always kind of thought about doing, and it's like, shall I do it or shall I not? And again, I mean, this isn't a particularly exciting reading, I'm really sorry. It's not particularly exciting reading. You're being offered this, but you already have 3 cups. And it's like, you will have the 4 of cups then, which is great. But it's like, you'll have 4 cups if you take it, but you've already got 3 cups, and it's like, well, I don't know what's in that cup. I don't know what's in that cup, so I don't really know if I want it or not. I don't know how it's going to go. And I'm quite, maybe you're a little bit complacent. Maybe you kind of just like being where you are, and this is going to be a massive change for you. You've got the 4 of Winter, which is the 4 of Swords. It says, set aside your concerns for now. You can make a decision later. Solutions that come from meditation, a need to sleep, or a vacation. So you're having a bit of a sleep. I mean, maybe you've been working so hard in your job, and it's just like, I'm at a point now where I can just kind of sit and just do my job, and just, I'm quite successful, the money's coming in, everything's great, but if I want to take this other job, I'm going to have to go back and retrain, I'm going to have to do all that kind of stuff, and you've spent all your years doing this, and then it's like, but now I'd have to retrain again, and I don't know if I'm willing to do that. And you have the Empress. You have the Empress. For some of you, it might be, particularly if you're kind of female, it might be that you've got to the point in your career and there's new opportunities coming up, and you're actually like, I'm trying to juggle my other responsibilities as well. I am the mum, or maybe you want to have children now. Maybe you've got to the point in your career where you feel quite comfortable to sit back and have children. You'll get your maternity pay, and then you can go back into your career and stuff afterwards. And maybe for some of you, it's like, I just want to, I just want to take some time out and have a family and things like that now. But this new opportunity is coming. Then you have the 4 of Wands, the 4 of Spring. Oh gosh. Be grateful, you have so much to celebrate, deep feelings of peace and happiness and a contented family life. So maybe you do have a contented family life. And you have children. You have a proper family. Or maybe that's what you want. Maybe you want to focus on your home and your partner and your children and all those things, and maybe you don't want to go through this massive grief, but you really want this. You're just like, oh, it's what I've always wanted to do, and can I do it? I mean, this looked like quite a scary reading when we first came into it, because we had all the things like the Walking Away card, and the 4 of Cups card and things like that, and the Tower. But actually, it's actually quite nice. You have the Tower. Now, the Tower can be a good thing, it can be a bad thing, okay? Well, it's never a bad thing actually, but it can be very, very disruptive. And maybe that's what you're thinking. Maybe you're thinking this is a massive change. Maybe you're thinking this is a massive change. And you're just like, I just don't know. I don't know whether to do it or not. Then you have the Seven of Spring, which is the Seven of Wands. You've got a lot of Wands cards in here. You're nearly all Wands cards. You've got a 10, you've got a 2, you've got a 4, and you've got a 7. And that's just in the ones that I can see. For some of you, this is about love, because there's a lot of Cups cards in there as well. Yeah, you've got a lot of Wands. And then we have the Princess of Spring, which is another Wands card again as well. It says, courage, be assertive, don't back down from what you believe, courageously stand up for yourself. That's the Seven of Spring. This one says, go after your dreams, do something that expands your horizons, let your creativity take flight. And then we have the Queen of Spring. And I think basically what's going to happen is if you do that, then you're going to go from the Page to the Queen. And it always kind of reminds me as well, the Empress is always like, in the other deck, in this deck, the Empress always kind of makes me think of an older version, a more mature version, a more kind of like family-orientated version. Mind you, the Queen's quite family-orientated as well. A kind of more mature version, more successful version of the Queen of Wands. And then you have the Queen of Wands. So maybe if you make this change, maybe that's where it's going to take you. It's interesting though, because the Queen of Spring says, believe in yourself, wonderful people want to help you maintain balance between work and home life. And you also had the Ten of Spring, you had asked people for help. Okay, that was one of the first cards that came out for you. Maintain the balance between work and home life. I mean, maybe you are trying to juggle too many things, but I don't think that you are really. I think this is more of a decision to be made as to what you want to do with yourself at this point. For some of you, it might be about commitment. It might be about a love commitment. And it's like, what do you want to do? So I'm going to pull you some advice cards, I think, as to where to go. I mean, it's always free will, isn't it? There's always free will involved. But it's kind of like, is there any advice for Capricorn? Because you guys are workers. You really are workers, and you like your stability and security. So for you, the Tower is going to be a really scary thing. We have the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, not predominantly, but this does feel like it's more aimed at kind of female Capricorns. Yeah, we had Death and we had the Emperor. For some of you, it could be a relationship reading, I guess. Because we have the Queen of Pentacles, we have the Queen of Wands with the Seven of Wands. We have Death and we have the Emperor. Sorry, I'm really, really struggling. Really struggling. I think maybe you're holding on to your pentacle, you know? It's like, I wonder if your partner's not particularly happy about this, because at the moment you're quite financially secure where you are. Okay, you're quite financially secure where you are. You're the Queen of Pentacles. And you are quite financially secure where you are. But you're passionate about, maybe you would be more passionate about doing something else. And you're kind of defending your view. because you have the Death card and you have the Tower card together on top of the Emperor. And you have got so many Wands cards, and you've got 2 Queen of Wands. And you're being told to be assertive. You are being told to be assertive, and you're being told to stand up for what you believe. And then you have this, you have this defending yourself card as well. So maybe you're defending your decision to move forward and do something completely different. Maybe if you have a partner, or if not, maybe you're just doing it to yourself. It's just kind of like you're trying to defend your position. Maybe you're just trying to talk yourself into it, I suppose. That actually, by making this move in the long term, you know, it might be a bit of a risk in the short term, but in the long term, it's actually going to take you from being the Empress to being the Emperor. For some of you, this is you. And you're defending yourself to the Emperor. And you're defending this change to the Emperor. I'm just going to look at this. Oh, sorry. I'm just going to look at these cards together because I think for some of you, you may be dealing with the Emperor, okay? You may be dealing with someone who's quite controlling. And you want to take control of your own life back. Because these are the cards that we have. We have the 2 of Swords, so somebody can't make a decision. But this is slightly different as well at the moment for me. It's because, like, you have these 2 ideas, the ideas come together and things become illuminated, okay? In the top she couldn't see. Then these ideas came together and the way is illuminated. For some of you, you need to move on. Something is emotionally unfulfilling for you and you need to move on. Okay. You have the 2 of Spring, a bright future manifested through hard work and creativity, partnering with others who share your dreams, great progress being made. Yes, okay, that's what it means in this deck, but in the other deck, the 2 of Wands is basically that kind of making a decision. You're at a fork in the road and you need to decide what to do. And then you have the Death card, which is change. You have the Tower card, which is massive change. And then you have the Emperor. So it could be to do with an Emperor, it could be to do with a relationship, it could be to be moving away. Be assertive, don't back down. You're being asked to be the Empress and match this Emperor in their own energy. If they're controlling, you need to, in your warm, nurturing, wonderful way, you need to kind of like be assertive, stand up for what you believe. Okay? Go after your dreams, do something that expands your horizons, let your creativity take flight. Believe in yourself, wonderful people want to help you. Maintain a balance between work and home life. So I think the feeling that I'm getting from this is just that perhaps there is something that has come up. You want to take it. You know, you're financially secure where you are, but you want to take it. Someone else is telling that you can't do it, but you're passionate about it and you're standing up for the decision. For some of you, it's just in your own head, okay, that you're kind of like trying to balance out the passion and the finances. And if it's in a relationship, I wonder. It just feels like a transition stage, you know. It feels like the stage that I went through when I decided to have children, you know, and I had a really good job and my partner had a really good job, my husband had a really good job. And I was going to be a stay-at-home mum. And it was just like, right, can we afford to do this? And it was what I really wanted to do. And he was a bit like, oh, how are we going to pay the mortgage and things like that. I mean, he was really supportive, he was amazing. And we had to have that discussion. We had to have that discussion. And I wonder whether some of you are in the same kind of situation. This seems to be more for females. I mean, it might be for males as well. It might be that you're dealing with the Empress if you're a male. But it feels more kind of like female energy. And it does feel around life and about home and career, to be honest. What about passion and money as well? It's that kind of balance between following your passions and having financial stability. Anyway, my loves, I'm going to go. I hope that resonated. I am so sorry it's not up to the usual standard. I am seriously sitting here in so much pain. I've taken painkillers, but I can barely move. I will speak to you very, very soon. Back on top form, I hope. Okay, lots of love. Have a great week. Bye-bye.